The records are now open. You know the drill. Come on in, say hello once you get here, and a heartfelt thank you for creating this sacred space with me. My name is Emily Harrison. If this is the first time we have the pleasure of meeting, I am the founder and director here inside the Akashic Academy. And today, if you are a first timer, or even if you are one of our returning guests, you're in for a treat. The Akashic Records are the most powerful quantum actualization tool on the planet. So if you are seeking spiritual advancement, you have come to the right place. Again, say hi once you get here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And activation number 1 starts right now. If you would like to increase your clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is your ability to see, not just with your physical eyes, but with your internal eyes, for you to see the bigger picture, for you to see patterns, for you to see what you're missing, for you to see the vision map of your highest timeline and your soul's mission here on the planet. Who wants more clairvoyance? Let's hear it. I want some yes up in here. More clairvoyance will come when you begin to picture the pinpoints of light illuminating all over our map when you see our awesome, loyal audience coming in here and sharing where they're from. So I'm coming to you from the High Sierras, Reno, Nevada. You can see that one light up. We've got Missouri here in the house and Chicago. Welcome. Today, I promise you, you're going to have some fun. We're going to use the Akashic Records in a very practical application. Of course, there are many applications on how we can use the records. So I'm going to give you a brief tutorial. Does tutorial mean I have to act it out, or can I just monologue it, just speak it? Is tutorial a video? I guess technically I'm on video. So anyway, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what the Akashic Records are. And we're going to use them very specifically today here together to reveal what subconscious patterns are standing in our way from us having and creating and experiencing what we want. Because as soon as we see what these subconscious patterns are, I see you all out here. Hello. We have powerhouses in the field today. I know that you all, once you see the areas where you can make change, you're like me. You get excited about the revelation of what's unseen and where you get to course correct, because you know you have the power. If we blame other people and it's necessary for other people to change, for our situation to change, then we live in a state of imprisonment. And the Akashic Records are designed to help, what are they? I was going to say they're designed to do this, but that's not really why they're designed. I don't know if I can tell you why the Akashic Records were designed in one short sentence. Okay, but one way that they help us to self-actualize is they help us to see what is unseen, because the Akashic Records, here's that tutorial I promised you. The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness that hold all information, past, present, all possible futures, from a neutral perspective, or a perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment. There are lots of names for the Akashic Records: superconscious intelligence, God mind, the field. Okay? The Akash is a Sanskrit word that means ether, and ether is primordial energy. So we are tapping into the most truthful essence of your soul today. So let me share with you how to get the most out of today. First of all, so we don't stall out in just a little bit when we go into the questions, let's start typing your questions in. And I want to give you some guidelines for questions. Because again, I said we want to look at our subconscious patterns. You're luminaries, you are quantum thinkers. You know that everything you are creating and experiencing is coming from a vibrational frequency that you're putting out there. And our vibrational frequencies, these are our subtle energies. These come from our thoughts and our emotions. And they make us incredibly powerful once we get clear and astute at knowing what we're thinking and feeling. Because a lot of our thoughts and the emotions that are triggered from those thoughts, truthfully, are happening on autopilot. You're not choosing them. They are either reactionary from traumas that you've experienced, or they come from your conditioning, collective programming, the programming of our society and our neighborhoods that we grew up in, the programming of our families. So once we can begin to see what subconscious patterns are playing out, that's when we have the power and the tools and the awareness to shift them. So I'm going to invite you to ask your questions like this today. What subconscious pattern is preventing me from having XYZ? You fill in the blank of what your desire is. And if you're not brave enough to type it in, well, it'll still work, but it won't work as well. I promise you that. I told you I would tell you how to get the most out of this experience. Participate. Let yourself be seen. Be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Connect, participate. Okay? Asking your questions is number one. The number one way to get the most out of today is ask your questions. And I want questions framed like this today. What subconscious pattern is preventing me from having XYZ? You fill in the blank with what it is that you want. Even if I don't answer your question specifically, you type it in, you will get an answer. Just notice, meaning pay attention to your thoughts and divinely inspired ideas that come in. Second way to get the most is to participate. Third is stay till the end. Something really cool that you might not know about the Akashic Records is that its energy is cumulative, meaning every time you come into this space, and the longer you stay here, the longer you stay in the presence or the frequency of your Akashic Records, the more this innate wisdom and connection will turn back on for you. That's natural. That will happen just by you being here. For those of you who want to learn how to use this more astutely, instantaneously, you got the questions, you need the answers yesterday. That's what the records are for. It's designed for us to, it's the second time I've said it, it's designed for us to do this. Again, I don't know if it's designed for just this. But one really useful tool is we can ask questions and instantly receive the intelligence through your intuition. Your intuition is your ability to know something instantly. And every single one of you here today have the innate God consciousness available to you at all times. So if you want to learn to hold that frequency of connection and direct these energies more dynamically in your life, I'll encourage you to check out our beginner's training. I left the link for the self-guided self-study, inexpensive investment to dive in and learn how to read your Akashic Records. I left the link in every place we're broadcasting. Oh, except on YouTube. I blew it there. I'm sorry, my YouTubers. I'll go leave it for you. But just scroll up to the top of the comments and you'll find it. Okay, for those of you who are wanting your own very astute connection. But for you dabblers coming in today, let me show you how it works. So we're going to tap into the Akashic Records and ask for revelation. Yes, you guys are doing it. Good job. What subconscious programming is preventing me from having, and filling in the blank. Not only will I choose some of your questions, I'm going to ask Spirit right now, just draw my attention and awareness to the questions that will benefit the most of us here today. And thank you. Not only will I tune in and get guidance for you all, but I will also ask the Akashic Records for a transmission, a healing, an activation of some kind, something energetically that we can take with us from this space to remember and know and invite the intelligence to keep working. Okay, so I'm going to pick a question here off of my screen right now. And then I also have my phone here with me. We're broadcasting in a couple places. I will check in with all of our audience. All right, Sandra times. First of all, welcome, Sandra. Everybody, let's give it up for Sandra. Thank you for your bravery in sharing publicly and allowing us all to learn from you, Sandra. Send Sandra some hearts, everybody. Sandra says, what subconscious pattern is preventing me from letting go and finding peace? Okay. What subconscious pattern is preventing me from letting go and finding peace? Sandra, what's coming into my field is a subconscious program that came from your childhood. It feels like it's more on the maternal side, like there was a loss in your family and your mother grieved very deeply. And in order for her to feel like she was staying connected to this soul, holding on to the memories, she couldn't fully release and let go. So what she modeled for you was this hanging on and this almost commitment to the grief, to honoring the grief of this deceased person. And so what I feel is like you're very loyal to your mom. You're very connected to her in ways that her approval of you is very important to you. So in order to remain loyal to your mother, and subconsciously as children, like we learn from our mom. And if we learn from our mom and we can do it like our mom, then we did a good job. See the difference between the subconscious and, yeah, if we're working in a state of high level consciousness, fantastic that we learn and that we model from the people around us. However, humanity right now, we are in a massive state of healing. Our society has not collectively been in a state of peace, love, and joy, holding the frequency of the 5D in a very long time. So we shouldn't expect our parents or our direct ancestors here in this incarnation to have gotten it right. Part of our mission here on the planet is to show up and heal the ancestral wounds. Okay, so Sandra, I would love to know if this is resonating with you. What subconscious pattern is preventing me from letting go and finding peace? It's because you have a program that was modeled by your mom. And in order for you to pledge a soul loyalty to her and to be like her, you took this on. What the guides are saying is that we now have choice. Once we see the patterns, we can choose a new pattern if a new pattern resonates more deeply for us and helps us. Okay? So Sandra, they're saying just lay your hands over here. Anybody who is resonating with this, by the way, if you're noticing that something popped into my mind, that's a subconscious program I got from my childhood that's not serving me. Choose to replace that right now by placing your hand over your heart and just calling up into your awareness. I feel my crown tingling already. Thank you all for participating in this. If you're participating, let me know. Send me some hearts across the screen. I feel you. And just think about what kind of program would help you better. Sandra, letting go and allowing yourself to choose peace rather than guilt. I now choose to allow myself to experience peace rather than guilt. And here's the thing about patterns, everyone. Patterns repeat themselves. Vanita, thank you. Many of us can relate. Yes. Our patterns repeat themselves. As you invite the clearing of this particular pattern in your life, what happens is it's like pulling a string. The invitation to more and more healing parties just keep coming. You just keep pulling the string. You're like, oh, there's another pattern. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. So be on the lookout from this point forward over the next several days, Sandra and everyone who's participated here, for more patterns that you might notice that you want to shift, and just do the same thing we did. Lay your hand over your heart. Acknowledge your right to choose. You've always had this right to choose. You just now have awareness of where you get to make the choice. And you choose differently. Okay? The new choice is going to have a new vibrational frequency. So if you notice that you make a choice and you feel a little different inside, you're like, oh, this feels a little funny. I don't really know how to hold very much peace. Just breathe. Settle your energy down. Imagine sending peace into every cell of your body. You might need to practice getting comfortable feeling peace. If you have lived your life in a state of non-peace, you might have to retrain your being to be comfortable in peace. And that's okay. That's what we do. Awesome. Let's give it up for Sandra, everybody. All right, Sandra said, your brother passed when I was younger, and he was your mom's favorite. Okay. She passed a couple years ago, and you just spread her ashes last week, and you feel constant sadness. Everybody, oh, Sandra, God bless you. Thank you so much for your vulnerability. Praying that you instantly make this choice and tap into peace and connection, calling in connection if that would support you and be something that you would want to experience with your mom and with your brother. Thank you so much for that. Whew. I felt it. Okay, I'm going to grab one more here from my screen because Laura, your question got my attention before I moved on to our other platforms here. So Laura says, what are subconscious thoughts keeping me from receiving freedom of chronic physical pain? Okay, so let me tap in. Okay, it's coming through a couple different ways. There is a belief system in you that's connected to no pain, no gain. It's almost like I was taken into your childhood, not as young as we went with Sandra. It felt more like you being a teenager playing sports and you experiencing success and victory through hard work and maybe even working through injury. And so your soul is also on a quest right now, Laura, Spirit is showing me, and please let me know if this is resonating, for spiritual growth. And so they're showing me there's a connection that the chronic pain is what keeps you present with the spiritual growth and acknowledging and being present with it and being like, yeah, it's working, but not really here. But it's like it's a way that you've linked a neural pathway that's keeping you motivated and connected to doing your spiritual work. Okay, no pain, no gain. If you notice this subconscious pattern in anywhere in your life, whether it's how hard you have to work or how much you have to contribute in relationships, their guides are showing me right now that if we take on this philosophy, sometimes it plays itself out in us overcompensating in relationships, which creates resentment. Okay. Yeah, no pain, no gain. They're also, the guides are saying, this keeps us in the construct of learning through conflict. And yes, we learn through contrast, but it doesn't necessarily have to be conflict. It requires, one, a reframe. So the intensity of the conflict that you are experiencing is like spirit trying to thump you on the head to get your attention. Trust me, it started out not so intense when spirit was trying to get your attention about whatever it is that you needed to learn. But we ignore our intuition. We ignore the signs that we get. If you've ever ignored a sign, send some hearts across the screen. And so as we ignore the wisdom, the signs get more and more intense. Once our intuition comes back intact and we get in touch with our subtle energy frequencies, meaning you know when you feel off. You're like, oh, I'm feeling a little funky today. All right, what have I been thinking? What have I been feeling? Have I been eating shit food? And we begin to notice, oh, wait a second, I'm not in my highest frequency here. I'm not as connected. I'm not as aware. I'm not as present as I need to be. We course correct instantaneously, and then we don't have to learn through such intense circumstances, right? Okay. Let me tap in, Laura. If you're still here, Laura, I would love to know if this is resonating for you. And I want to tap in and ask for an activation, a transmission of something that will support us here. Ooh, I'm feeling so much energy moving up into the head. Let me just see. Okay. So, yep, this is about, it's like unhinging those neural pathways that we've connected and connecting them back into divine mind. All right, so anywhere where you have created a neural pathway connection, meaning where this, I'm not going to try to explain that. Whatever it means to you. I want you to visualize that neural pathway that's connected right now and imagine it unconnecting, unhinging, just very effortlessly, whoop, and connect both of those endings of the neural pathways into superconscious intelligence. I create the life I desire with ease, grace, and you can fill in the last, whatever the last adjective there is, an adjective with adverb. How do I create? It's an adverb, people. Fill in that last adverb of what would be meaningful to you. I now create the life I desire with peace, ease, and you get to pick the last one. I'm choosing fun for mine. You can change yours if you want to. And just let that energy wash over you. I want you to practice doing something now that might make you feel a little weird. Some of you are already letting your freak flag fly, like I do. Another activation. Since nobody else is on this broadcast with me, nobody's watching you. But I want you to practice letting that energy now, this new thought programming that we called in, I want you to allow it to wash over your body. And I want you to just like move your body however your body wants to move. And like I said, you can feel a little weird doing this. But what we're doing is we're actually also increasing our ability to connect with our subtle energy body. We're also increasing our intuition. You don't have to know what it means that your body is moving or jerking, or maybe you can, if you see like mine feels a little jerky, your body might be moving in more of a swaying motion, or you could be creating a vortex with your body. Spirit's showing me some of you guys are like going in a vortex, a spiraling energy. Whatever feels like it's the right thing for you, just play with it a little bit, okay? There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just trusting ourselves to get in touch with the energy and know that the consciousness of this energy, this new thought paradigm that we've called in, where you get to create your life with ease and peace and whatever the third thing was that you picked, it needs to move to certain places in your body, because your body, the soft tissues of your body, stores emotional memory. And so what's happening is this energy is moving into all parts of your body that has stored that emotional memory. Okay. All right, take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, you can return normal. You don't have to keep jerky dancing around or vortexing around or however you're ushering the magical energy. Woo, tell me how you feel after taking that breath and coming back in. I'm noticing the quality of light looks different in my office, especially in my peripheral. You can notice these things for yourself too. Sometimes when you go into a higher frequency and then come back out, you'll instantly notice the physical world around you changing. So it might look like the light or the vibrancy of the color. Or here's another cool one. Maybe you notice something in your environment that you didn't notice before. That is seeing what is unseen. And these are the ways that if you pay attention and you acknowledge them, you allow yourself to participate more fully in your own growth, and it happens faster. Does that make sense? Acknowledging the light or the things that you didn't see before, or the little things. That's the example of you participating with the universe, with your own healing, with your spiritual growth. And it's a way that a lot of us miss. The guides are telling me right now. Meaning we ask for the intelligence or the shift, and maybe we even see it, but we don't acknowledge that we see it. Maybe we've asked for an increase in our psychic abilities, and then your telepathy happens fast and furious. I find telepathy happens a lot with my kids, but also with text messages. And so I always comment, if I'm experiencing a moment of powerful telepathy, meaning I was just thinking about that person, they text me, usually the first sentence of my response is, hey, good telepathy. I give us both points for telepathy. Okay, so begin acknowledging what you see. If you're feeling it, send some hearts like love across the screen. Hey, if you've already gotten some value out of this experience today, please take a moment and share this out. The more of us that begin to take our freedom back, take responsibility for what we're creating, our choices, our thoughts, the more we course correct, the faster we will be able to create our lives of peace, love, and joy with the collective here on this amazing planet. The more of us doing it, the more power we all have. Okay, I'm going to tap in here and see who's tuning in on my Facebook page. Nobody. Because I'm not broadcasting live on my Facebook page. Just kidding. All right, let's go to the Akashic Academy Facebook page. Grab a couple more questions here. Well, this is stupid. You're only showing me some of the questions on here. All right. All right. Well, we'll just keep playing here on my screen today. Yeah, Vanita says, oh, yes. Not paying attention to signs over and over again. Well, pay attention now. Bobby Joe says, took a ton of experience to realize I was swatting away the signs as coincidences. Thank you, Bobby Joe. All right. I'm going to go back in here. Ooh, Mandy Jo Henderson. So good. What subconscious pattern is keeping me from knowing my purpose? All right, Mandy. Whew. All right. Whole body buzzing here. They're saying, you know what your purpose is. Everyone, we all know what our purpose is. Okay, I'm sorry. They're backing me up a few more beats. I got excited. I started talking too fast. For the purpose of us all being able to be on the same page here, I want to create some context, some lexicon. So I actually separate soul purpose from soul mission. And I look at purpose. Our purpose is to be happy. Our purpose is to live out our dreams. This is a planet of dreamers, y'all. We come here to dream and to create, to experience ourselves as the creator being, as God, goddess being. God just want to be happy and create. Goddess just want to be happy and create. I also look at mission as a unique genius or legacy that only I can contribute to the planet at this time. Okay, so I'm going to actually lean in and God having a Mandy experience is what I say. I love that, Mandy. All right, so I'm going to lean in and look at both of those things for you. So first of all, knowing your purpose or knowing happiness. I'm going to just shift that vocabulary a bit, Mandy. What unconscious pattern is preventing you from knowing true happiness? There's a belief system or an experience. This belief system comes from experience about how long happiness lasts. And it feels like you've had some times of happiness that didn't last very long, like the rug was pulled out from underneath you. So there's a hesitation for you to trust and surrender to extended happiness. Okay? This would, Mandy, and if anybody else is experiencing this, and maybe it's not about happiness for you, maybe you're noticing this in your wealth. Sustained periods of what you want. If you notice that you are having difficulty creating longevity in these areas, go back to, I think it was the first activation that we did today, or as part of the first activation. Call that feeling up inside of your body and practice holding it in your body. Because what I'm seeing is there's just not a comfortability of being able to hold that energy. It's almost like you're safer when you're on guard. I know we're at 12:31. We'll wrap up in just a few minutes. Okay? Mandy, it's like you're safer if you're on guard. Safety is another big piece coming in there around your really surrendering to experience happiness. Nice. Mandy says she's been singing Happiness Jones a lot lately. Nice. I love that you're singing it. Keep doing that. When we sing and use our voice, we're creating a vibrational frequency where our cells can follow suit. So bravo, you're naturally already healing that. Way to go. Okay. Let's look at soul mission now. So what's preventing you, Mandy, from having clarity and experiencing your soul mission? Okay, so they're bringing up the same thing they brought up before. We're all born with this childhood knowingness of who we are. It's just whatever we naturally love to play. Play pretend that you are a whatever. And that's how you will know what your mission is here on the planet. And thank you, guys. How many of you have been here for a long time and you've never heard me say, find your mission that way? Even me. I'm raising my hand on that one. I've never heard the guides put it quite so simply and playfully, but I love it. Think about what you played pretend as a kid. And whatever you played pretend as, you were already beginning to imaginatively create and consecrate that timeline for yourself. And the vast majority of us, because our parents have not wanted us to be broke and struggle, they have pushed us towards the patterns and the safety of the matrix, of safe jobs, of figuring out, what well, you can't do that. Your career has to be XYZ, right? And so our parents kind of morph and push us for the purposes of safety. Interesting that safety came up around your happiness too. But for the purposes of safety, into what we would look at like as more traditional careers. So Mandy and anybody else who's the buzz just went through your body, you felt that? I felt that. Take a look at areas where you have fear around the safety of a job safety and security. Will this job really provide me the safety and security that I need? And let's just clear that right now. All right, so we're going to go back to the kidneys, everybody. Kidneys, I talked about how your soft tissues store memory and emotions. Your kidneys are the organs that store the fear. So gently breathing and just gently tapping on the kidneys, calling out, and just imagine that energy leaving the body right now, being filled with Akashic courage. I don't know why I pronounced courage so strangely, other than for your amusement. All right. Releasing all of the fear, calling in the Akashic courage. More deep breath. On the exhale, come on back in here to the sacred classroom with me. And then again, notice as you go from here to the quantum field where we do a little bit of work and then we come back in, notice how you feel different. Do you feel a little dizzy? Do you feel like you need to ground? Honor your body's experience as you are shifting your consciousness so profoundly today. All right. If you have enjoyed this today, again, please take a moment to share. Not only share this broadcast, but share in the comments with me what your biggest takeaway was from today. How did this serve you the most today? Core edge. Vanita says, I like it. It was courage. That's right. Oh, I love this time with you all. Thank you for being here with me. And again, the invitation for those of you who want to return your own connection to the Akashic Records more astutely and begin to use this for wisdom, guidance, and clarity in your life, find the link that I left you. It will say Align. Align is the name of our beginner's training in learning to read the Akashic Records. Anybody can do this, and you will not be the same version of you on the other side of this powerful training. So for those of you who it's resonating, I want to invite you to check it out, and I will see you back here again next week. Namaste.